All right, welcome back, you guys. We are here with Lane Lord, UTRGV women's head coach. Lane, how you doing?
Doing wonderful. How about you?
I'm doing well. Year one is over, going into year two. What's the differences between this time last year and now?
Oh, I tell you what, the first year it went by so fast, and with everything being new, and not only just new environment around Edinburgh and McAllen, but traveling and finding what hotels to stay at, what restaurants, and where not to go eat, where to go eat. Just all those things that go with the first year. And then, of course, having the new team and trying to get them to all gel together with a new system. But year two, we're settling in. We got the same staff, which we're very thankful for. All 4 assistants are back for year two, and we're fired up and we're ready to go.
I was going to say, there's been a lot of new changes at UTRGV. You were telling me new locker rooms. What does that kind of mean for your program? And when girls get to come in and see these and they're like, wow, blown away by it, how does that help with recruiting?
Oh, it's, the recruiting's the lifeline of our program, and anytime you can enhance your facilities. And right now, the optimism in the Valley, University of Texas Rio Grande Valley is exploding. Over 30,000 students this year. Not only that, but there's construction everywhere on campus, and construction means growth. And where a lot of universities are struggling, our university is elevating, and we hope to continue that on the women's basketball side as well.
We're going to go back to WAC Vegas last year, OT and championship game. Can you still use that game as motivation for this year?
Oh, absolutely. I think the run we made at the end of the year, we were playing our best basketball. Had a little lull early in the conference season, but really put it together. And I think we can take a lot out of that game. Really, if you play that game over in your head, there's 10, 15 different things that you do differently, or maybe the ball bounced our way, but what a great first year experience for our staff and our players last year for sure.
You lose Madison Northcutt. She was the leading rebounder for your team. Who do you expect to step up in her place this year?
Well, we've signed 10 new scholarship players and 3 walk-ons. We have 13 new players, and we've kind of done it in 3 different ways. We have 4 freshmen. All 4 freshmen play on big-time winning programs, state champion in Texas 6A, state champion in Arkansas 6A, so winners with a winner's mentality. Then we also have 2 junior college transfers, 2 Division I transfers, and 2 graduate transfers. So you take all 4 of those, and hopefully we can combine to have some players step up and take the place of Maddie. And she was just such a great competitor for us, and really was the heart and soul of our team. Her grit and her the way that she was determined on every play to be the junkyard dog, like we called her. But we're excited about our new players coming in.
13 new faces.
13 new faces.
How do you get them to buy into the program you're trying to build?
Well, I think the 4 returners we do have, 3 played, and then we had a transfer that came in at semester. Her name's Ashley Lopez, but we're going to really rely heavily on those gals that have been through it. Amara Graham, our starting point guard's back. If you're going to start your team, you like to have your point guard. She'll be a 2-year starter for us as a junior now. And then I think one of the toughest competitors in the WAC is Megan Johnson. She's our vocal leader, and we're going to rely heavily on her. And then, of course, like we said, Ashley Lopez, our backup point guard. Val's back as well. But with the 2 grad transfers, and then Zane Templeton comes from Gonzaga, played in 2 NCAA tournaments. She'll have 2 years left. We've got some experience. But really excited about this freshman class as well.
All right, and I will open it up to the media now.
Rachel already asked it, but 13 new faces. I mean, how does that impact your coaching staff, your game planning? I mean, just everything going. I know you haven't started yet, but how does that impact what you do as a team and installing offensive and defensive, game plans and so forth?
Well, I'll tell you what, we're pretty fortunate with the rules now. If we didn't have the summer sessions to bring in these players, the new players, it'd be tough. It really would be. But, we've been at this since July 7th, and our chemistry will continue to grow. But in the recruiting process, I think it's very important to recruit winning cultures and players from winning programs. And that doesn't matter what level. Winning junior college programs, transfers that why are they transferring? Well, you got to look at those things as well. But did they play in winning programs? And our transfers and our high school players, we have that culture of they've played in those types of situations. So that's very important for us in recruiting. And if we did our job as a staff, which I believe we have an unbelievable staff, then I think you'll see a lot of great things from this group.
Talking about playing winning programs, last year Texas and USC both came to Edinburgh. This year returned the trip. What do you hope to learn about your team when you play against Power 5 schools?
Actually, USC came the year before, but Texas did come to our place last year, and it's probably one of the neatest experience I've had as a coach. Certainly as a first-year coach, I think the University of Texas did more for women's basketball in the Valley than we could ever do. They came down, we played them very tight. But Coach Alston was unbelievable, and we had a sold-out crowd. And for the first time in a long time, the Valley got to see a top 10 program. To answer your question, we're going to Texas this year. We go to USC, and then we also play at Kansas State. So, which very familiar with Kansas State from being at Pittsburgh State all those years. Played them a few times, but playing the better teams, especially last year we played Baylor. We got to play the national champions, and it just shows you how far you got to go to get to the top. But it also shows you that you can, if you compete and you put out your best effort, you can hang with anybody. And we certainly did that in a couple of those games last year. Not Baylor.
With regard to that schedule, with the new faces, how does that instill confidence going out and competing against those teams on that level? And building consistency within your group?
Well, I think as a coach, we talked earlier about recruiting, but I think you got to recruit to a schedule, and you got to recruit. For instance, our league, the WAC. What better places do we have to go when you're recruiting? We get to go to Seattle, L.A., California, Missouri, Chicago. I mean, we go to Grand Canyon. We go to beautiful cities in this league. But then if you also attract a schedule that can help you in recruiting, we're going to play some of the best teams in the country every year. And, playing Texas again this year is very important for us. But, yeah, that's the challenge of the coach is getting your team to play at a high level against those teams, but also not get discouraged if things don't go your way. And hopefully with the experience with the grad transfers and a couple other Division I transfers and then the players we have coming back, we'll have enough experience and big-time college basketball experience to survive those games.
You invited local high school and junior high coaches to sit in on a few practices this month. What's the idea behind that?
Building relationships. We have 1 million people in about a 40-mile radius, I believe, and down there in the Valley. And there's so many high schools, it's just no way we can get to every single high school. So we invite them to come to us, and after we got done with practice, we have a meet and greet, and our staff tries to meet every single coach and build those relationships we need in the Valley.
Coach, last year you were 10-5 at home. This year you have a number of non-conference games at home again. What's your scheduling philosophy when it comes to playing at home versus taking your team on the road in non-conference play?
Well, we want to play as many games as we can at home. It's tough to get Texas or Power 5 teams to come all the way down to the Valley. They play most of their games non-conference at home. So for Texas to do that last year was huge. But we do have some really good mid-majors coming in that we're excited about. But we try to go 50-50 on the home games versus the road games. I think we have one more home game this year than road games, which is nice. So.
I think we have time for one last question. The season looks to be fairly open in the WAC. What will it take to get to the top and win the title? I know you guys were very, very close last year.
Well, I think you got to win on the road, number one, and teach your team to handle adversity on the road. The home venues they're tough to win at. So if you can be above 500 on the road and take care of your home court, you got a chance to be in the top three, and that's our goal every year is to put yourself in that mix, and we certainly did that last year, and we're hoping to continue that trend as the years go on. But I think it's important that we get off to a great start in the non-conference season, and then the league's good. I think Coach Hill talked about it earlier, but we've got really good coaches in our league. the league's gotten better just from year 1 to year 2, just with the talent that's coming in that you see. And, a lot of us recruit some of the same players, so we know what other schools are getting. But the thing I've been impressed with the most is some of the new hires that we have, and then some of the veteran coaches we have in our league. We have some really good coaches in this league, and I'm excited about it. I'm honored to be a part of it.
Alrighty, Coach. Well, we definitely appreciate your time and spending your morning with us and coming out here. And I know the Valley is probably a little bit hotter than it is here, huh?
A little bit, but go Vaqueros.
Go Vaqueros. Alrighty. That is Lane Lord with UTRGV. Next up, we've got Brooke Atkinson.